Hi, this is the evaluation of the order trading system activity for August the 9th, 2021. We had 5 trades on that day, 4 were buys, 1 was short sells. The first trade was actually not showing up on my list because I didn't have my system on for retrieval at that time. It was CEI. Yeah, it was CEI, and we'll just take a look at it here. CEI. It's not picking up. Yahoo's not picking it up, so we'll take a look. Strange CIs. I do believe that's the name of it. 1 second. CEI. Yeah, it was CEI. Okay. Camber Energy. Let's see if we can find it with the name of it. Nope. Okay. So we will take a look and see if Google's picking it up. Yes, Google's picking it up for some reason. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's a start. Okay, so the first trade was CEI. As I said, it tripped at 11:35.27. It was a buy. It tripped at 47 cents, and as you can see, it closed at 48 cents. And doesn't look, as you can see, it looked like 48 cents was its oh, that's the closing price. They're not showing it. They're not showing the price that it's at that point, are they? Well, maybe they are. Yeah, they're not showing the decimal place after the penny value. So it didn't it didn't come up much above it, but again, it did close above its tripping price, and it did it multiple times, and again it closed. So that's what that is. So we'll leave it at that, and take a look at the indicators to see what they are showing. MoBV came up during its tripping period and basically stabilized, not too heavily movement-wise. So it did move up and then somewhat started moving sideways, I guess. MACD, same thing, came up, as you can see, down a little bit, but not drastically. MACD follows that type of direction in general. DI came up, and here you see it bouncing back and forth in the afternoon, which somewhat shows a negative, or excuse me, a sideways of movement. But closing late afternoon, you can see it was moving a little bit negative, at least directional index-wise. Bollinger Band showed that it came up and stabilized and moved sideways. I didn't see what the previous... Okay. No, that's pre-market. So pre-market it is... previous close 46 cents, so it actually was up too. So it was up from its previous close. It was up over its tripping price. Indicators somewhat are showing it did move up, but looked like it was moving sideways for a good portion of the day. Next trade is EOG, and that's EOG Resources Incorporated. Tripped at 11. I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Next trade is CFMS, and that's Conformis Incorporated, tripped at 11:42:01 a.m. at a price of 141. It was a short sell. It closed the day at 142, and basically no movement. Well, no movement percentage-wise from previous close, and you can see it's actually down 1.1% here early morning. So that kind of like shows you that it did make its. Interestingly enough, that's not showing the chart on Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo's not showing a chart. That's nice. Well, looks like we have to go back over here again. Excuse me. CFMS. CFMS. Conforming. Okay. Okay, and again, the price trip, the period tripping time was 11:42. 11:42. So roughly around here, made a recovery, but you can see, look. Yeah, like 138, 140, 142, 142, 141. You can see the afternoon time on this chart shows that it was down below its tripping price for a good period of the day, good period of the afternoon. So we'll say that that is another positive. And we'll check to see what the indicators are showing. 11.41, yeah, no. OBV shows it came down, but again, it came down and stabilized, basically just stayed there. So that's interesting. MACD came down and sideways, and you can see the end of the day it came up a little bit, and that's so averages were down here. This is where it tripped, but then recovered here at the end of the day. But again, price-wise, it didn't recover above its tripping price by much. DI, interesting. Look, it was down roughly here, where it came down, was down early afternoon, down, up and down here, sideways movement kind of indication, at least DI wise. Bollinger Band came down, made that little bit of recovery in that. So, excuse me. The stock obviously tripped downwards, and indicators somewhat looked like early morning. It was moving downwards, but the afternoon it almost looked, at least from the indicators, even Bollinger Band is showing that in the late afternoon period, it actually looked like it was recovering a bit. So that stock is very interesting, even though it's down early morning here, which basically gives an indication that the stock is still moving in a negative direction. Next trade is EOG again. As you can see, I'm having problems today with charting from Yahoo. For some odd reason, the charts are not showing up. Anyways, next trade, EOG Resource Incorporated, tripped at 11:45:15 a.m. at a price of 70.09. It closed the day at 69.38, down 2.19%, and we'll have to take a look at Google again because for some reason Yahoo is not showing the charts. EOG Resources. Okay, 69.38. Again, tripped 11:45. So it tripped around here, and it looks like it never maintained it. 69.97. So 11:41, 11:45. So just right around here, which 11:45. 12:15, it came up again. Actually, it wasn't not too bad. 69.85, 69.80, 69.83. So actually, now just trying to get it. 11:39, 11:45, 70. Oh, 70.09. Sorry. I had myself confused. I didn't really remember what the tripping price was. 70.09. So you can see, yeah, roughly around there, and came down. Yeah, it didn't really. It actually turned around and went down after it tripped. So let's see what the indicators are showing. Excuse me. Indicators are showing 11:45:15, 11:45:15. Okay, so OBV is where it's showing that it tripped or moving upwards, and then OBV showing somewhat sideways or just really non-movement on volume. So volume stabilized somewhat after it tripped. MACD showed it came up, but didn't come down drastically. Obviously, it came down a bit, but again, that's normal for MACD to jump up and down like that anyways. So the averages came up during its tripping time, down a little bit, and then moved sideways. Basically, can't get much more sideways than that. DI showing, yeah, it came up and tripped, came down. Oh, you can see though, it moving probably just a little bit more negative than positive on the DI scale, on the DI indicator. In Bollinger Band, yeah, it came up and then moved side and moving downwards. To be honest with you, the stock is just not concretely showing this stock moving positive. If anything, the indicators are showing sideways movement in the afternoon period. And pretty much a good portion of the day. Bollinger Band showing that, yeah, it came up a little bit, but just started moving. Afterwards came down and moved sideways. I just don't feel comfortable saying that that's a possible, unfortunately. Next trade is Mogo. Excuse me. That's Mogo Incorporated. Tripped at 1:36 p.m. at a price of 6.13. It was a buy. It closed the day at 6.11, up 0.49%, and you can see it down 0.16% early morning here. And again, for some reason, it's just not showing the charts on Yahoo. Okay, Mogo. Mogo. Okay. That's not the right stock. Okay. Interesting. This is Google shows the current price. It doesn't have a pre-market price. It just shows the current price. And strangely enough, well, this is only showing up 0.39%. This doesn't seem right. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Maybe it'll show up here. Excuse me. Mogo. Yeah, okay, well, interestingly, this one is showing the chart, even though the application is not showing the chart. Maybe the application needs to be restarted. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so this is the Yahoo, and it's showing that, yeah, it closed the day at 6.11. It is down, as we said, down 0.16%, and it was a positive, so let's just see. 6.13, it closed, or it tripped at 6.13 at 1:30. 1:30, let's see, 6.10, 6.11, 6.9. It came up to 6.16 here. Let's see, 6.14, 6.12, so around 2:30. 2:30, 2:30, 2:48 to 2:50. 2:30 to 2:50 is almost 20 minutes here where it came up. And it came up multiple times afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to say it's a positive, even though the price movement, it doesn't look it by much. But here, like you can see, it jumped up here, and it actually did jump up multiple times in the late afternoon, above or near that price. A good 20 minutes where it was above it by a few cents, and then below that period, it was jumping up every once in a while, a few cents or a couple cents above it. So that definitely, I say, is a positive. Even though at the end of the day it drop down below its tripping price. So let's go have a look-see. Okay, 1330, 130. Okay, OBV looks good. OBV looks like a steady increase. So volume was moving up for a good portion of the day. MACD also showing up, but you can see end of day averages were coming down a bit, but you know, still again it did trip, moved up and stayed up fairly strongly. Interestingly, DI showing that it came up, tripped, stayed up, and then you can see the late afternoon period is where it was moving negative a little bit. In Bollinger Band, interesting, it came up, tripped a little bit, moved sideways, jumped up a little bit, moved sideways. But again, even though the other indicators, at least MACD and DI, are showing a negative directional activity, the actual Bollinger Band is showing that no, it didn't move. The indicator is showing downward trends, but the actual price was not moving downwards. So the price actually stabilized, even though the indicators are showing somewhat of a negative movement. Next trade is mRNA. That's Moderna Incorporated. It tripped at 2:20 p.m. at a price of 486.80. It closed the day at 484.47, up 17.10% and up 2.77% early morning, but it did close below its tripping price. But again, a high price stock like this, a few dollars actually is not that much. Oh, look, this one just happens to show this. Interestingly, shows the stock price. So again, 220, roughly around here. 220, 47.32, 47.30, 48, 493, 493, 46, and 41. Yeah. You see, right after this second peak here in mid-afternoon, it dropped, but there was a good almost an hour there where it was above its tripping price. So we're going to say that's a positive. And the indicators. OBV showing a good rise. MACD up late morning, early afternoon, came up. So MACD showed somewhat of a steady or consistent, upward trending. DI up, and showing just a little negative movement here, but again, negative and positive somewhat are kind of like almost synced, so really not, again, shows more of a sideways activity because of that. And Bollinger Band showing basically a steady increase. Late afternoon, it somewhat did revert downwards a little bit, but you can see it stabilized. So the stock itself was moving positive. So anyways, that leaves it at that, and that's 4 out of 5 stocks, which is, I think that's 80%. 4 divided by 5. It is 80%. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Another good day.